Hello, happy summer, and welcome to my series on how to avoid the summer slide this summer. Today I'm going to be sharing one of my favorite activities that I think is very simple yet very effective, the calendar. Now, I know some people have avoided using the calendar in the past, or in the preschool classroom they think it's not effective and there's not enough learning that's happening there. But I think it's actually a very useful tool for both our kids in the classroom. This is perfect for the summer because you can download this free printable that you can use at home, and it has a couple different variations, meet the needs of each one of your individual children. And if you have multiple children, there are different ones that you can print up for the different age groups. We'll talk about that in a minute. Hi, I'm Andrea Miller, and I help early childhood teachers and parents teach through imagination and play so that every day becomes an adventure and learn. If you're a parent of a child that's entering preschool for the first time, or pre-K, or going to kindergarten, or even going into first grade, this summer series is for you. We are sharing simple, effective ideas that can help your child stay engaged and learning all summer long. Okay, so how can we keep our calendar activity simple, effective, but also fun and engaging for our little ones? The download is in the description of these free printables that you can get that can be differentiated for each of your children. Of course, they're have some summer themes and they're cute, and so you can go ahead and color them. Beyond knowing what today, tomorrow, and all of those things are, there's a lot of other great skills that can be taught or introduced using the calendar, and all kinds of early numeracy skills and a little bit of literacy as well. So calendar can pack a punch with its activities. And remember, you can do some of these activities or talk about them, but they don't need to be done every single day. Repetition is really important for our little kids. It's really how they build their best skills. Do remember that, but if you don't do everything every single day, that's when it kind of gets boring anyway. So you can touch on different things here and there. But calendar provides so many opportunities. It's rote counting, it's one-to-one counting. You're introducing what numbers look like and what numbers or digits make up what numeral or number. It also has a little bit of early literacy skills there, as you can start talking about the days of the week, or you can talk about the months of the year, and you could talk about letters and things and pointing out letters and sounds and so forth. Also, patterns are a great part of calendar. So I'm going to be sharing a few ways you can differentiate those activities for your little ones and introduce things, or reteach, or just practice with the children that you have at home. Or if you're saving this for later because you're a teacher, don't skip out on calendar because it can be very powerful. Okay, let's talk about differentiation. Differentiation just means that you are meeting your child's needs where they are at. Of course, I'm going to share by age group, but that is just a guideline, because sometimes our children that are 3 have been exposed to calendar or patterns or numbers, and they can do a much easier job of understanding things, while someone that might be in a going into kinder may have never done calendar or had a calendar experience before. So you might want to start them off the beginning and then work a little bit quicker through to get them to know where they're supposed to be at the beginning of kindergarten or at the end of kindergarten, depending on where your child is. And again, the numbers are just guidelines. I always suggest, with all the parents, teachers that I work with, I always tell them to start off with the simplest activity and then build from there. So you lay a great foundation, get that really solid so they're understanding, and then you can move through the skill sets as they progress and as they get older and things. They are just benchmarks for us. Ages are just benchmarks for us to know kind of where they should be and what goals we're working towards. So remember, do your best job of finding out where your kids can do and give them that guidance and security, because nobody wants to be super frustrated. And if your child is frustrated, bring it down, move it down, or keep repeating the same thing. That's actually so helpful for your child, and when they're entering school, to feel confident when they know those skills. In our download. There are a set of 4 different calendars, so I'm going to share them with you. Of course, you can pick whatever calendar works best for you, and if you have multiple children, you can pick different calendars and work on different skill activities, but at the same time still working on the same skill. So the first calendar I have is a calendar. It has the black numbers on there so that you can help working on identifying numbers and number identification. You can also work on a little bit of literacy and talk about, oh, this is the month of July, jump rope or juice or jacket. At the simplest level, you can just pull out a calendar so they can see numbers, they're exposed numbers. You can ask them things like, oh, what is today? Today's the 4th of July. Can you find the number 4? And then you can have them point to the number 4. That's also a very tricky concept. They don't really get that, so they just need to hear it more often, that it's the first, and the first is number 1, and the second is number 2. So using that word like today's the 16th. Also, I like to mark off the days, so each day they can put a sticker on it, or they can use dot markers. I would love to do that, or they can color them. If you have littles, sometimes it's really hard for them to color in, especially in the square, so it could get a little bit sloppy and messy. So guide them with that, or give them some peeling stickers, or putting anything on that is perfect. It's kind of funny. I went to find these. I found these in our 4th of July decorating box, and I was like, oh, I'm going to use these. They must have been around for a while because they were so old that they weren't sticking on the paper. I had to like peel about 3 of them before one of them stuck, and then so, but you can also always use a little bit of glue or a glue stick to put something on as well, but make it fun and simple for them. I think for littles, this is the perfect way to start. If you have a little bit older child, maybe entering into the pre-K4 program, or they were in pre-K4 last year and you just want to do a review and keep it simple for you, you can do, again, July calendar, same. These have a dotted line, so if they're beginning tracing, or you can model tracing for them if they're just entering into the preschool classroom, the pre-K classroom. They might not be ready for tracing or ready for numbers. They're like, oh, it's too much for them. Remember, for littles, we have to keep it very simple, working on 1 or 2 tasks at a time. So if your child isn't holding a pencil correctly and things, just model it for them. And then I did this in a pattern, so you can start beginning that A-B pattern for them, red, blue, to keep it